Hi, friends. It looks like we're live.
Just give a minute and make sure technology.
Give it a minute to make sure.
Looks like it's there.
Oh, and I got to turn some audio down. So give me a second here so we don't have any weird echoing going on.
Same. I think I had mine on as well. All right.
Okay. Well, hi, friends.
Hello, hello. It's working on my phone now too.
Combined live.
It has been a while. Okay.
Oh, sorry. My computer was doing something weird. And okay, I think I'm good. Whew. Like, last thing I need is my computer to like crash on me.
It's time for an update now.
Right. All right. Well, welcome to YouTube Live with Pinkfresh Studio. Today, we are sneak peeking our upcoming holiday release, which is super exciting.
It's always a favorite, and this one's a big one because we never can resist all the fun holiday goodies. So.
I know. I think our holiday release is always one of our largest releases. We don't do a whole lot of themed product, but we love how magical Christmas time is. So I think we kind of go all out.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Someone asked me if I'm feeling better. I am. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you.
Oh, yeah.
I just had a little cold bug last week.
Yeah. Fortunately, you didn't have to do a live.
Exactly. Okay. Well, there's quite a few people here already. I'll let you talk about the giveaways and such.
All of the usual things.
I'm going to just mention right now while we're at it, there's 95 of you. If you all could give the video a thumbs up, we would really appreciate it.
Yes.
It helps the reach right now when we're currently live, but it also helps upon replay to help other card makers find it. So we really appreciate when you do that.
Perfect. And in addition to that, so every live we give away a $15 gift card. Since it's a combined live with Leah and I, there's 2 of those that we'll do today. Kennery will pick those at the end of the live. So the way to enter for those is just what you're doing in the chat. Leave all of those fun comments, say hello to us or each other, ask those questions that you have along the way, answer someone's questions, whatever you want to do in the chat. Those are all an entry for the giveaway. And then if you can share this video, it can be in a message on your own social media, email it to a friend, text it to a friend, however you want to do it, in a group if you know it's allowed with the group rules, and then just leave another comment and let us know that you shared. And thank you for those thumbs up. Those climbed up really quickly. We appreciate that a lot.
We appreciate that. So I'm going to go over 2 things with you guys real quick. Most of the product Heather and I are featuring today are not available for purchase yet. They are part of our upcoming holiday release. They will go live in our online shop on Monday, September 12th at 7 a.m. Central Time. So that's when they will be available. So set a reminder on your phone, add an alarm, whatever, and that's when they'll be available. I also wanted to mention, if you are registered for our upcoming holiday Create and Connect card workshop, there's nothing in this release that will be included in your event kit. So there's not going to be any doubling up. You don't have to worry that you could possibly buy something twice. Everything that's in the kit will be available at a later date if we decide to release it, but we haven't even fully decided if we'll release it all. So yeah. No worries that you'll have any duplicate product.
Yep, entirely separate releases. And then since Leah already mentioned that we're sneak peeking new products, generally we try and have all of the release items linked in the video description. We were not that prepared today. We were pretty much sitting here a few minutes before the live pulling out what we were going to use. So we will get those linked up afterwards. So for ink colors and any of that, if you have questions, we'll get those afterwards, but we'll do our best to kind of leave them out where you can see them. Just because I know we get asked that a lot. Wait, what ink color was that? It'll be on replay. We'll try and show it as we do it. And if someone asks, we'll try and catch and go over that, but we will link them up afterwards to make them easy to find and have them all in one place.
Yeah. So we're going to get going. The way that this combined live is going to work out is at first, we're each going to take a little section. So one of us will be highlighted for a speaker view, and then we'll get a few things done separately. And then we'll come together and we will craft together after we get those few things done that we're doing different from one another for our cards today. Heather, remind me, am I first or are you first?
I think you're going to go first and just go over our holiday washi for this release.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then I will hot foil and go over the next thing.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put speaker view on me, and I am going to switch my camera down to my desktop, and we will check out the entire collection that we're speaking today. All right. So there I am. I'm just going to make sure that it clicks over okay. I gotta grab one thing. Okay, so one product collection that Heather and I are sneak peeking today is our new Holiday Elements washi tape product suite. So Heather is going to be using the stamps and stencils. We'll both be using the die, of course. So Heather's going to be doing the stamping and stenciling. I'm going to be using the washi tape today. So let's take a look at this beautiful washi tape. It is beautifully watercolored. This was illustrated by Minushri. If you were part of our Create and Connect Cards event this past May, she was our watercolor instructor, and she has beautifully watercolored this washi tape. We added gold foil accents to it. It's so fun. Look at how adorable that cute little Christmas gnome is. I'm going to be die cutting this in a little bit, but I just wanted to give you a quick look at the entire product suite. So that is the washi tape. Our washi tape rolls are 4 inches in length, and I always forget the number of meters. Kinnari can probably answer that in the comments. But what it equates to is about between 41 to 43 panels, depending upon where the panel gets cut during the process. So then, of course, there's also the coordinating stamp, stencil, and die. So the stamp set is 4 by 12 in size. The elements are all on one stamp so that they coordinate super easily with the layering stencils and the one-piece die. And then there are also some really fantastic sentiments included on the stamp set as well. So of course, you've got the outline stamps, which you can color on your own if that's your preference. But of course, we've also included the layering stencils. This is a 6-piece layering stencil because it does have quite a few elements to color in. When all is said and done, this is what the stamped and stenciled elements look like. Of course, you can pick all of the colors of your preference. And then there is, of course, the one-piece die. The die set's actually technically 2 pieces because we did leave the inner part of the little wreath separate just to make it a little bit easier to line up. And the one-piece die coordinates with all 3 items. So the washi tape, the coordinating stamp, and the coordinating layering stencils, which you can use alone or separate. Excuse me, you can use separately or together. Alone and separate are the same thing. All right, so I will die cut and show you a little bit more of the rolls of washi tape in a moment, but I'm going to hand it over to Heather, and she is going to do her hot foiling.
Okay. So I'm going to hot foil my sentiment, but I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek. This is already hot, but I'm just going to leave it sitting there while I quickly go through this. I was worried about it not being hot. So we had our very popular brushed sentiment set that released sometime this past year. I can't remember exactly right now, but we are doing a holiday version. So you can see already, it's a huge, this is a 6x8 set. It's divided into 2 one-piece stamp sets. And you've got all of those beautiful images. And then Leah's going to use these today. These are the beautiful layering stencils that give kind of like a brushed, layered look to the sentiments that's really beautiful for custom doing your sentiments in whatever colors. And then I've already got it preheating. Of course, we had to do these in hot foil. And then the one-piece dies that work with all 3 of those options. So it's a super versatile. You can get the dies and then pick one or multiple or whatever version you want to do. So if you're not into hot foiling, you've got the stamp to heat emboss. if you want kind of the layered brushed look, then you can use those beautiful layering stencils. But I'm going to stick today with, move all my other stuff out of the way here real quick. I'm going to use these hot foil plates. And because of the colors I'm using, I've decided to go ahead and use some pink foil. And I've already trimmed down that piece. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way here for a minute. And then we're just going to go ahead and hot foil this and see how. I've already hot foiled these a few times and I absolutely am in love with them. So I think you're going to love them too. I cut my foil just a little smaller than I intended to. So I want to make sure I get all that covered. And let's run this. Ooh, looks like I shed some hair there on my hot foil plate. I'm going to run this through and then we're going to take a peek at that finished foil. And I'm going to quickly show you this. I feel like this is the new magical reveal. Look at how beautiful those are in the foil. Okay, and I'm going to switch over because I'm going to go ahead and foil the reverse. I don't know which ones I want to use today. So I'm going to mute myself. We're going to move over to Lea, and while my solid foil plate heats up, she's going to show you the washi.
All right, friends. So as promised, let's go ahead and pull out this washi tape and let's die cut it so you can see how fun and easy that is. So the panels end up being around the 9-inch mark, probably a little less than that. So I'm going to show you my preferred method for adhering these large panels down to whatever paper source it is you want to put underneath it. I'm just using my standard white cardstock today. You can use really anything you want to. A lot of people like to use vellum because it kind of keeps that transparent fill of the washi. But I'm just going to stick with my status quo Hammermill 100-pound white cardstock here. And we're going to go ahead. And so what I do, I like cutting the full panel because I feel like I have a little bit of more control. And I'm just going to kind of make a little kind of curve up so that the middle adheres down to the cardstock first. And then I will just take my fingers and adhere down each side. Now, the great thing about our washi tape is it's super forgiving. So if you got to buff out any bubbles or anything like that, it does that really well. But keep in mind where the bubbles are, because if you have like a random bubble here, it's going to be cut out if you're going to cut the pieces out for the die. So something that you don't have to worry about, but I had a couple tiny little bubbles here and there. They buffed right out with just my fingers. Kristen is asking if Heather used the Hammermill when hot foiling as well. And yes, we both use Hammermill pretty much exclusively. So my assumption I'm going to answer for her is that Heather did use the Hammermill paper. Okay, now these dies are a little long, so I am just using some extended plates that I have for my machine. If you don't have extended plates, you can always double cut. Heather does that, used to do that quite a bit with her Platinum 6, or you could always trim the washi tape into 2 and just cut it twice. It won't hurt the die if the die runs through your machine without anything underneath it. So that's also an option if you have a smaller die cut machine or a machine that does not have extended plates. Now, one thing to mention, these are big dies, so take a little bit of extra time to get the images nice and lined up. And then washi tape is a little bit slippery. So you'll want to make sure that you tape it down nice and securely so that the die doesn't shift or move on you as it goes through your machine. So I like to tape it down with just some kind of larger pieces. Now, you could always do this in a second step. I'm just going to go ahead and add that second little die piece onto here and cut it at the same time. So this is just the inner part of the wreath. So I'm just getting that lined up, and I'm going to go ahead and get it taped down nice and securely as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine. So I'll be back in just 1 second because it's just a little off camera. I see that Mona has asked if the stamp press tool is a separate release from the holiday. And yes, it's not in the same release, Mona. It will be released towards the end of the month with just some other essential products. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the tapes off here, and let's take a look at how fun these images are. I'm just gonna pull the dies up and put them away. Look at how fun these are. So this is probably my favorite piece. Like, I love that little wreath. It is gorgeous with the foiling on it. And then of course, this guy is just the cutest. It's the tiny little Christmas gnome. I love him. So the other elements in this is an extra poinsettia. There are a few different gift package clusters. And then we've got some hanging mistletoe. So those are all of the washi tapes. That is how easy they are to cut out. People always ask me, I just got this little tray on Amazon. I think you probably just look for ceramic palettes or something like that. And then Mindy asked me what extended plates these are. These are just these Sizzix extended cutting plates. 3 of them plus a paper shim works with your Gemini Junior. However, they are not listed as a product that can be used in your Gemini Junior. So if you still have a manufacturer's warranty on your machine, I wouldn't use these, but I do not, so I can use them. All right, friends, that is the washi tape. So I'm going to pass this back over to Heather for some solid foiling.
All right. And I'm all set up and ready. My plate has been good and hot here for plenty of time. So I'm just going to pop that off. I have my scrap piece from our original foiled piece. And all I'm going to do is put that on that well-heated solid hot foil plate. I already popped it out of my machine. So I don't have to worry about it shifting and moving. And I do use just a cardstock, another piece of that hammer mill. And yes, in answer, Leah did answer correctly. Of course, I do use the hammer mill for this. So, and then when I use the solid foil plate, I like to go through the machine and then roll it back as well. I don't do that with the normal foiling because I found for me, I get less over foiling if I only go through once. And then I'm going to turn this off here and unplug and move that out of the way, because that now is in my way. And let's move this out of the way as well. When you've got that limited desk space, you have to just kind of make it work. And let's peel that off. And there we go. Now we have both of these images. And real quick, before we move on, I'm going to die cut both of these. Leah will die cut hers, I know, when she does her stenciling. But by then I'll have to die cut my Christmas washi. So I figure I might as well get these out of the way now so that you can see how both of these versions look, the original foiled and then the reverse foiled. And like I said, I don't know which one I'll use today, but I wanted to get them both on there. All right, so here's that first one. Flip my plates, and then I'll just quickly pop all of these out, and then we'll reuse that same die to do the reverse foiled image. And it looks like I have just a couple pieces to pop out of there so that they don't get in the way on the other version. Oh, a couple more. Let's use a little metal tool to get, oh, a couple more. This one has lots of those little tidbits there. One more. keep thinking I have them all and then I find one more. Nope, two more there too. Like the never ending. There we go. Then there are the original foiled, and then here's that reverse foil, and I'm going to line it up the same way, the one piece just over the top of all of these. And I'm only going to use, Lea and I both, we're going to use a fraction of these sentiments today. So there's going to be so many extra to use on other cards. I have a whole bin full of these, all hot foiled and ready to go. So when I'm doing my Christmas cards this year, I pretty much am set. Get this out of the way. And now we've got the side by side here. And I'll just deal with this later. So I'm going to put that out of the way. But here is all of the versions of that. And then when we get to assembling, I'll pick which one I actually want to use. But how fun is that with the solid foil plate, and especially our word sentiment ones? Those are some of my favorites to use with the solid foil plate because it doubles everything you get and there's virtually no waste of all that foil too. All right, I'm going to, actually I don't need to mute. Leah's just going to unmute, and then we're going to go on gallery mode and we're going to kind of spin off on our stenciling.
Those look so pretty, Heather. I am with you. There's something special about the reverse foiling on especially sentiments. It's so gorgeous, and of course,
really is
the no wasted foil. That's probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start working together now, but we're kind of doing different things. I'm going to start stenciling one of my sentiments using that same brushed sentiments holiday that Heather just foiled. I'm going to do this stencils. So they do these fun layers in the words, kind of makes them look a little bit like ribbon words almost, which I love, and super festive. Now I am not going to do both sets today because I actually only really need the word cheer. So I'm just going to do the top part of the stencils for my card today. Just for the sake of time, of course, because I'm a little bit slow when it comes to this.
And I was kind of sneaking in the background here because so I can keep up with Lea, because I have more stencil layers. She's going to be ahead of me today. I just know it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
But I'm going to go ahead and stamp because I want to stamp in detail black at the end. I lined up my stamp ahead of time to save time, so you didn't have to see me fiddling. It kind of mostly fits in here diagonal in the regular Misty. We've got some other tricks. You can use a memory Misty. You can use, we've got a video for using the outside, but it is too long just to fit vertically like this in the regular Misty. I also debated on just cutting my stamp too, and I've done that on some of mine if you want to just do them in two parts. But I mainly am using, I think, more the top images, so I wasn't too worried if it cut that off a little bit. But I stamped it in gray ink, and I'm just going to leave that lined up in my Misty to restamp at the end.
Perfect. So I have lined up just the top part of the stencil with an A2 sized piece of cardstock. I can never find it unless I can find a glare there from the light. But all of our stencils, of course, they're numbered in the upper left corner. And then these are actually quite large stencils. So what you'll find around each grouping of sentiments is little notches. And these little notches they're equal to the size of an A2 sized panel. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's what I have used to line up the stencil so that as I'm ink blending, I know each of these layers will line up perfectly. And I'm going to start out with Raspberry Bliss ink for my first layer of stencil.
And since she's using the alignment guides, obviously, especially with my diagonal stamped image, I'm just lining up to my stamped image because there's no way those alignment guides would help me with this at all right now.
Absolutely. The alignment guides are awesome, but they're only there for when you're using the stencils alone. If you're using them with a stamped or a foiled image, you will always forgo those and you will just align the stencils up to your stamped or foiled image. And I'm just going to say this one more time because I did mention it earlier, but just in case for people that are just signing on, None of the products in our holiday release, so none of the products that we are showcasing here today or anything that releases on Monday, it will not be in the upcoming Create and Connect Holiday Cards Workshop. There will be 0 duplicate products, so no worries about that. Everything you're seeing is just part of our standard holiday release. All of the products in the upcoming event kit will be completely different.
I've got my ballet slipper there. And I'm on, I think I have, how many? I have 6 stencils, and I think you only have 3. You are definitely going to be ahead of me.
You only have 3. That's very true.
I literally have twice as many.
I'm actually heat embossing one section, so that takes a little bit longer.
That's true.
It's a little bit more finicky.
That's true. That might give me a chance of catching up.
Because I'll probably need to do a quick heat set on these inks because I am using rather dark dye inks. So, and I don't want the embossing powder to stick to them
and
too much.
I tried to go our washi is a very traditional color combo, and I wanted to kind of show the versatility of having the stencils and the stamp to do your own thing. So I went with a completely different color combo.
Nice.
So pinks, and then I'll just wait and let you be surprised with what's next.
Exactly. So I am just wiping down the stencil with a dry microfiber cloth right now. I'll clean it off more extensively later with some isopropyl alcohol. But for now, I'm just trying to get excess ink off so I don't get a bunch of pink ink on my fingers and then run the risk of getting that ink on other projects. So I am going to go ahead and remove my first stencil, and you'll see I have the start of some words, but they look a little funny.
This is one of those ones where you have to have them all for the magical reveal, or it just kind of...
The reveal is not super magical until it's actually fully done.
Okay, so I moved on to Peach Fuzz, and I'm just going to note on here for this stencil layer, since this has the gnome's face, Peach Fuzz, or like some of like the dough or warm buff or any of those tones would be just something to think about. You might need to mask. There's some layers of this little gnome. Like as we move on, you'll see the beard that it's going to be on a layer with some of the floral layers. So it's just going to be some simple masking, but it would be really silly to have 3 more stencil layers just to hit some of those on. So I just wanted to note, if you want totally different colors for some of these things, that's fine. Just kind of maybe plan on and thinking about what colors you put there as you go along.
Perfect. So I've got stencil number 2 lined up, and I'm going to ink blend this one in Berrylicious. So I am capitalizing on the reds and pinks that you find in the washi tape in hopes that they'll match pretty well. And then the final layer, I'm going to actually heat emboss with gold sparkly embossing powder in hopes that it will match that gold foil that's on the washi tape pretty well. So I am just inking up stencil number 2. Sorry, I cut you off.
Nope, that's good. I was saying this right here as I'm lining up is that stencil I was telling you about, where we're going to do a little bit of masking here, because this is going to be pinks for these layers, and I don't want a pink beard on my gnome. I mean, maybe it would be cute. I don't know.
It might be kind of cute, but yeah.
It might be. In fact, actually, as I'm thinking about it, maybe we'll start with, I'm going to mask off around and do the gnome part first, and then I can just mask them off and finish with my pinks. I think that's going to be easier.
Perfect. You'll notice I'm blending pretty heavily on these stencils. I just feel like when you are ink blending words, if you blend them a little bit heavier, you can see them a little bit better. They line up a little bit better. So it's my preference just to blend a bit heavier when I am ink blending sentiments like this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove stencil number 2, and it's starting to look really fun. We're getting there. But I actually need to pick this up. I'm going to give this a little heat set real quick. And that's just because I did choose some pretty bold color inks. And I want to make sure that they're dry enough that hopefully I won't, the embossing powder won't stick as much to that ink. So my audio will probably mute out here in a second. So Heather will just take over for a minute.
Totally fine. And then also with how heavy you ink blended, that's even more a reason that it probably needs that extra little bit of love there. I'm remembering way back, it was when I was waiting for my solid foil plate, someone asked a question about the washi and what it meant about buffing it out. I don't remember if I saw an answer for that, but it's basically if there's little bubbles in the washi, you just use your fingernail or a little plastic tool, like even a bone folder, just to kind of push out any of those little wrinkles or bubbles. I have very little trouble with very many of those, but I just wanted to note because I remember seeing that question and I was going to remember to answer it and then got all distracted with my hot foiling by the time we got there and didn't want to leave whoever that was hanging.
Right, so I have finished heat setting that. Next, I'm going to take my anti-static powder tool and I am going to rub over the entire image really well. And this will also help avoid the embossing powder from adhering to the places I don't want it to be. So I've done that, and then I'm going to go ahead and line up this final stencil. And then my fun sentiments will be complete.
Okay. There we go. Always takes me, I have to just kind of, when you're lighting up these bigger stencils, I always kind of look for certain really key areas that are easy to see when you line up. And if you're ever in doubt, the packaging on the back is a great reference for you to go, oh, okay, I see where that's supposed to go. And kind of
definitely a really good reference. Yeah. So I have a blending brush that I use specifically for embossing ink, you know, for this exact purpose here. And so that's what I'm going to use. What I have found when you are rubbing in embossing ink to a stencil is, one, have a little bit of a gentle hand because it can get underneath the stencil pretty easily. So I try to do real even pressure. I'm being pretty gentle with it because I don't want to get embossing ink in weird places underneath the stencil, because then the embossing powder will stick to it. And that will be a little hard to clean up. So just real gentle, just lightly just brushing over the top of the surface of the stencil to get the ink in there, but to not be too aggressive with it.
Okay. We're getting close to the end here. Notice I mask off those little gnome, the beard spots again. Here we go. We're coming along. I'm going to go back actually just ever so slightly. I'm going to go back to my first stencil layer because that ballet slipper was so soft and pretty, which I love, but I feel like there's so much contrast between the ballet slipper and the sparkling rose that I'm just going to ever so lightly go over this just with the residual ink from some of my darker pinks, just to bring the tones together a little bit more. Kind of
all right,
super easy.
I'm just checking to make sure that the embossing ink looks like it is on there well. I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover the entire thing with this embossing powder. I'm using Gold Sparkle embossing powder. And I may have to do a little bit of cleanup here and there. That's okay. I'm used to that. I did my best to prevent it as much as possible, but you know, crafting's not perfect science.
It's going to be pretty though. With gold embossing.
All right, I think we're pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up here. And I always forget to grab like a dust cloth or a Swiffer, which would have been really nice, especially since I'm using glittery embossing powder today, but I'll have to do it after the fact, I guess.
I'm going blues for my greenery. So I'm doing Slumber and then some deep navy.
Very fun.
Kind of a fun wintry tone.
All right, let me get a couple things out of my way here, and then I am going to heat emboss this image. So once again, my audio will probably mute a little bit. So we'll just leave it to Heather.
We're getting close here. I've got this stencil layer, and then I've only got one more after this. So I might be able to catch up to Leah. I feel like I'm on a stenciling race to keep up my layers here. All right, last one. I hope you can kind of see how this, I love that blue and pink combo. It's going to be super fun. All right, this one's going to be a little trickier. Let's see. This is where I have to find those references of where to line up. And I think that's about what we need. So looking at the little spots on the gifts and the bows, that's going to be really helpful on this one.
All right, that is all heat set. So I'm going to mention that I actually ended up not cleaning the image at all, and this will not show up on my camera, but I actually left the little bit of glitter pieces that stuck to the red and the pink ink, more the red than the pink. And it's actually a really fun festive touch having just that little bit of extra glitter.
It's like gold sprinkles.
Yeah, it's like having some added gold sprinkles. So if you ever are repeating this process and you get a little bit of excess glitter, just leave it. It's actually really, really pretty.
All right, here is that last magical reveal. And it's,
oh my goodness, Heather, those are so pretty.
I love that color.
I almost don't think you need to stamp in detail black.
I know, I'm torn on it, but I'm gonna, I'm gonna, because
I know, but oh man, you should maybe just stamp it in gray again. That is funny.
Maybe we might try that in the gray, because I also have this little bit of a fear that I'm gonna mess up the alignment and totally undo it. That just wouldn't be good.
That would not be good. That would be a huge bummer. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my sentiments die cut really quickly.
I'm going to let's see if we got this lined up still really well. Okay.
All right.
Fingers crossed and knock on wood for me. Try it in the gray. Worst case, the gray won't show up as much if I mess it up, right?
True, very true. All right, I'm just lining up the die. Die lines up really well. I just like taking a little extra time to make sure I've got each word nice and centered. Well, one piece dies are super convenient and we love them. They are bigger, so it's nice to take just a little extra time to line them up.
It's still less time than 10 million little words, right?
Absolutely.
And then someone was referencing earlier the stamp press. This is what we're talking about that's releasing later this month that I'm using to help me stamp here my image. So even if you use the soft gray like I did on here, it's still really great. Just to stamp it over in that gray, because it gives you that really crisp finished edge just after the ink blending where it kind of tones it down. Yeah, and you know what? I really do think this is so sweet in that gray.
So pretty.
We're definitely leaving it in the gray.
Oh, it's so gorgeous. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Too fun.
I love it. Where our cards, like mine is like super bold and colorful, and yours is like this soft, subtle, beautiful.
And that's what's so fun about this is it's the same exact set.
Right? I mean, we've gone two completely different directions with it.
Yep.
Right,
and just when you look at the washi, sometimes it's so easy to get stuck in that rut of that's the colors and that's what you should do, but just branching out and doing something different.
Absolutely.
So fun.
I was using the washi, so I didn't have that possibility. So I definitely had to match to the washi, but so Heather got to be a little bit more adventurous today, which is super fun.
I'm gonna do.
All right. The really cool thing about the brushed sentiment dies is we were really good about like cutting out those little middles to really give the words some really great dimension and such. So I just wanted to point that out because that's what I was doing. I was just poking out all those little chads. By the way, that's what they're called, is chads. And I just wanted to mention that a lot of our dies do that, but especially this one. And I just think they make the words look really, really nice.
Okay, my nosy die cutting there.
No worries. So I am going to also be stamping, it's called a secondary sentiment, but technically it's actually the first part of the sentiment. But I'm going to use this sending good tidings and cheer sentiment that is included in the holiday elements stamp set. And it's just going to go along with that word cheer. And it's just going to, the cheer word that I ink blended and heat embossed, it's just going to be a nice little finishing touch. What?
Do you see what Kinnery just said?
No, what did she say?
Being picky about fonts and cutouts and how she drives us crazy.
No comment.
We're all picky in our own way.
We drive her crazy with other things as well.
We all have our
little, like the shapes of hearts and stars.
Yep. And between all of us, I think we probably eliminate some of the common things that would be annoying about it because we're all annoyed by something a little bit different. So
exactly. All right. So I'm just grabbing a piece of scrap white paper and I'm going to stamp this little smaller secondary sentiment just in some detail black.
All right.
So I'm going to use my little detail black ink cube for this because this is something Heather and I do a lot. We don't want to ruin the integrity of how dainty these sentiments are. We just lightly kiss the surface of the stamp. We just press real lightly and we don't mind double stamping so that we keep the integrity of these little dainty, tiny sentiments.
All right. Now,
there we go. 2 impressions was perfect. And I need to clean it, but I did forget to dampen down a cloth. So I'm just going to grab some stamp cleaner real quick, pardon me, because I want to get this nice and clean.
I just remembered I need to do the same with my secondary. I'm using the same secondary sentiment that I think anyway.
This is just a toothbrush that when you go to the dentist, I don't know about yours, but my dentist always gives us a toothbrush every single time we go, but we use electric toothbrushes. So I just turn those little extra toothbrushes into stamp cleaners. And that's all this is. It's extra soft and it's just helping me get all of the residue of that detail black ink out of my sentiment.
See, there it is. It's like, where did I put my little stamp press? Had to find that one.
Okay, so that's done. Let me put away the things I don't need anymore real quick.
And then we're about to hit the part where we both get quiet while we figure out our layout.
I know, right? We're going to start fussing around and trying to figure out where things go. So yeah, this is the part where Heather and I tend to start talking to ourselves and making decisions. First things first, I am going to trim down this little sentiment. I think I'm going to have to do some fussy cutting because I want to trim off that word cheer. But I think first things first, I'm just going to trim it down into a square.
Okay.
I think that's good. Right there. Perfect.
Trim mine now that I've got mine in black there. I'm like, I don't have any other black on my card. Maybe I should have done that in a different color, but
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, if it isn't, I'll just restamp again later with
for sure. And then I'm just going to use some scissors to trim off the edges. I'll probably use scissors. Wow, yeah.
Can you talk?
Can I speak, please? To trim off that little word cheer too. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to trim it away or just kind of leave it. I'll probably end up trimming it away, but I'm going to hold off on doing that for now.
Sometimes it doesn't matter even if it repeats because it's a good word, right?
Exactly, exactly. So I wanted to show you guys, I've already finished my background because it's kind of a fussy background. I actually did it with during the previous release. But this is our dotted lattice background die. It was part of our August release, I believe. And I don't like to throw anything away. So when I cut this out of my favorite ivory colored glitter paper, I actually kept all of the insides and I created a background with the inner pieces that matches. So you're just not getting the dotted outline at all. You are just getting the insides in that fun design. So
hold on. There was a question for us.
Oh, okay.
Where was it? Allison. Oh, if my cleaner I made from the fabrics and cleaning dry more shampoo or glycerin?
Oh, I don't know because I've never had that not work.
One question, Allison, are you waiting a while to clean? Because if once, especially with like the detail black and the hybrid, if it dries on there, it's much harder to clean. So I always try and clean it quickly.
Yeah,
that might
same.
Be, I don't know if that would make a difference there.
Yeah, Allison, I'm not sure how to answer that because I haven't ever had that happen. So, and I've always just used the exact recipe that we have listed. So I'm not completely sure. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Now, friends, I don't have press and seal, so I kind of painstakingly put these in. I actually cut one of these from just some low weight 60-pound cardstock that I had lying around. And I just temporarily adhered it to my white cardstock panel. And then I kind of painstakingly adhered all of the glitter pieces in. If you have press and seal, you could actually use that and grab it and then put glue on the back and adhere it down that way. I just didn't have any, so I did it the old hard way.
I'm trying to decide if I want to squeeze everything on or just kind of let it be without everything.
Jen, it probably didn't take me too long to do it, maybe 20 minutes when we're all said and done, and that doesn't really bother me. I just sit here and listen to music or throw on a show and I just do it. It's actually kind of relaxing, honestly, to do stuff like that, I think. So I'm just using some liquid glue and I am adhering that background down to the front of my A2 white card base. I didn't need a colored card base because this goes edge to edge. So.
Okay.
Okay, there's that. I just realized I think I was gonna make my card landscape style, not portrait, and I did not do the right type of card base, but that's okay. We'll just go with it. It's the right size. It's just typically, I prefer things to be top folding, but I didn't think about that. So we will just go with it.
And I'm just kind of trying to play with my layout here because I really only planned on using the wreath and my Merry Christmas, but now I feel like I have so much space that I might just leave it simple like that and save these others to use for something else. But I did want that little gnome tacked on there.
Nice.
This is such a,
yeah.
Or I was just to say, this washi is just full of little random things that you can put together or make a lot of different cards all at once.
You really can. It's aptly named Holiday Elements because there's just so many fun little things that you can add into it. And you don't have to use them all together. You certainly can use them all together if you want to. It is a super fun little set. I'm just putting some foam tape currently on the back of my wreath. So I'm just kind of getting into assembly mode now, and I'm going to be using a lot of the washi tape elements, of course, because that's kind of the focus of my card today.
I'm changing my mind. I might not do a slimline card. I might switch and do an A2 size.
All right, well, there you go.
So I got to back up a little here and do a little fresh card base making and
that's fine.
Plan B.
Plan B, going on a plan B here.
So we'll just, and since I'm doing this on the fly, I'm hoping what I'm grabbing is in stock, but I'm just kind of going for it. So.
I'm just fluffing my washi tape pieces basically, and I'm just gonna start layering washi tape pieces together. Some might be popped up with foam tape, some might be glued directly down. It's just to give the card more dimension. So I'm just popping that little extra poinsettia piece that I just fluffed, and it's going under the larger poinsettia on the wreath, just to give a little bit of added dimension underneath it. All right, so I like that piece, that location. So I'm just going to hold that down and let the glue set a little bit. Fluff, fluff, fluff. I know, I love fluffing stuff. Okay. So there's, you know what, actually this, thankfully it's not going down perfectly yet. I want to move it up a little. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Okay. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Now I want you to stay in your place, little flower. It looks like Kinnery is answering someone's question about ink refills. We are changing our refill tops. So, and I'm just reading her comment out loud for everyone in case it gets missed. It looks like it's about 4 to 6 weeks for a restock on the ink refills.
All right. I'm trimming. I did the dotted scallops cover plate. I made a fresh card base. I used that same blue that I used on my last one. I just swapped it out to an A2 version. And then I'm trimming a little bit around all of the edges just to give me a little bit of a matted effect on my card base still.
Sounds good. So I'm taking one of these little bunches of presents and I am just using liquid glue to adhere it a little bit behind the wreath, not too much. I don't want much of those beautiful gift packages to be covered, but I'm using this as a little bit of a scene creation, a little scene builder. So I'm okay if some of it gets a little bit covered in the process. And you are all correct. It's hard to adhere anything down to glitter paper. So you have to just be patient and press on the glue to really help it set in place. So that's probably going to take me a little bit of extra time today.
And I'm checking one extra little plan here just to make sure that I want to stick with the wreath like I'm doing. Yep, I'm going to stick with the wreath for now. I do like that, kind of stacking up the gifts. L. Kelly, the trimmer, it's a Fiskars paper trimmer. I don't know that it says on it what the model number is. I can look it up later and post and share that, but I never know the name of it or whatever, but
all right.
I like it.
Nice. I'm going to go ahead and get my wreath placed down now so that I can kind of build the rest of the card around it.
You're going to get a lot more of your elements on your card, and I'm going to have another card at some point.
Nice. Perfect. All right. I think I got all the release paper off. Yeah. All right. So let's get this adhered down here. Okay. Just like that. All right. Toss those little release paper bits away. Okay. So now I've got this lovely word cheer here. And then I've got the sending good tidings. I do think I need to trim off the little cheer. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is brave. It may not be perfectly straight, but as we all say, this is handmade, not Hallmark. So it will be okay.
Okay. See if I trim that about right.
Actually did pretty decent on that.
Good job.
I'm pretty impressed with myself.
All right. Secondary sentiment going down.
Okay. And it looks like Allison re-asked her question and I thought we answered it already about the cleaner not working.
Yeah.
So our only suggestion is that, I can't remember what you said, Heather. I'm sorry. Can you just repeat yourself?
No, that's okay. Just wondering if the ink had dried, if she was waiting a while to clean before. That was the only thing that we could think of.
That's right.
Trying to clean it quicker.
Because neither of us have had an issue with it not working.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if the brand of the baby shampoo matters. I truly have never thought about it. So
I just used like a kind of like a no fragrance, super
yeah,
hypoallergenic thing. So, I mean, I don't think, there wasn't an excessive amount of cleaner in the one I used by any means. So,
no.
Okay.
Last. Love these foam strips.
Yeah, just kind of trying to get all this stuff assembled on here.
Cute. Gotta love a change in plans, huh?
You're brave, Heather.
Or crazy. Not quite sure what yet.
I guess there's always that.
I mean, at least this was just an intentional change, not a oops, now we have to change.
That's true.
Those are way worse.
Okay. So I'm going to get the cheer adhered down in here. Well, I think I need a little bit of double foam tape on this one edge of it here. So let's do that real quick.
There we go. You got that.
Again. There we go. Now it's working a little bit better. Okay, so I've got my sentiment, and now make sure that's not crooked. Okay, good, we're good. Now I got to add my last few little elements here, and then I just need to add some bling.
Very
nice. I am probably nice and done. So where do I want to put the little gnome? I think I want to tuck him right in the presents. Okay. So the presents need a bit more foam tape.
Cute.
Do that. We'll do one more piece. Give it a little double layer as well. I love the gnome. Oh, the gnome is so cute.
That's the one that we both had to use.
Yes, absolutely. He's just so darn cute.
100%.
I can't get over it. I can't get over how cute he is. I'm going to fluff him a little bit, especially his little hat. And he's just going to tuck right in here. I seriously love the gnome. I can't get over how cute he is. And his little hat's going to kind of overlap a little bit of the sentiment. That doesn't bother me.
Wow.
Okay. Now I just need some bling. I haven't even decided what bling I'm going to use yet.
Same. I have not even thought about it. So it'll be a surprise for both of us, I suppose.
Get my cute little triangle tray out of here real quick. Let's see.
Okay, and I used foam for that bottom Mary, and then, or I mean for the Christmas. And then I'm going to add Mary with just a little bit of liquid glue since it's going to go on top of that flower there.
I can't verify these are in stock, and I apologize because I didn't check. I'm just going to use our gold metallic pearls. So hopefully they're available.
I'm pretty sure they are, but same, I can't verify that.
I'm going to answer a question. No, Heather and I don't design product. We just help. We spell check. We let our opinion be known.
Once in a while.
Like something, or when we don't think stencils work correctly or something like that. So we're super opinionated. Ask Kinnery on that one. I think sometimes she gets exasperated with us. But no, we don't design product. We just help proofread and
we put wish lists in when we want them.
Yeah, we put like product wish lists, like things we would like to see. And then Kinnery and our amazing graphic designers figure out how to make it come to life, basically.
Okay. I'm just going to leave this. I keep trying to fit another flower on there or something, and it just ends up looking like too much. And I don't want to take away from that little gnome. So I'm going to just save those for something else.
Perfect. I am just adding a couple of little gold pearls here and there. Nothing too extensive. I'm trying to decide if I want to put a little gold pearl on the gnome's hat. We're going to see what I think. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. All right. So that is going to be what I do for embellishing today.
And you're going to finish ahead of me. I'm still getting mine out. I think I'm going to do the little iridescent ones because I've been kind of obsessed with those. And they fit that frosty, cool feeling that I think.
Absolutely. Okay.
I'll try something here.
Kind of feel bad covering up that flower middle because it's so pretty, but I'm doing it because I really want it to be a little blinged out. The next time I use this, I will not put a jewel on that little flower center.
Did you put one on the little gnome top of his hat?
I did.
I did too.
It's real cute.
I was like, yeah, we're going to do
He
that.
needs it. He needs a cute little bauble.
Totally. All right. I'm going to do the same.
All right.
Flowers.
Oh,
You did. You beat me.
I did beat you a little bit. That's okay. There's my card for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it coming together. I think these are just the cutest little elements, holiday elements. Like I said, perfectly named because that's exactly what this entire set is about. It's just cute little elements for the holidays. You can use them together. You can use them separately. Looks like Kinnery is picking winners, so I'm going to look for those.
You catch those since I'm still
I'll catch
here.
those. While I'm waiting, someone asked me about my new cute little jewel picker. I ordered this on Amazon like months ago, friends, and I think it came from like China or something. And so I just got it in the mail. And when I got it in the mail, I'm like, what in the world is this package? And it took months to get here, but it's kind of cool. It's got a, pokey jewel on one end and a jewel picker on the other. Okay, congratulations to Kelly Golden and Kirsten Sykes. Yep. You two have won our $15 gift card codes for our combined Sneak Peek Live. So congratulations. All you have to do to claim your prize is email me. My email is Lea@pinkfreshstudio.com. There is no H on the end of my name, so just Lea@pinkfreshstudio.com. Give me about 2 to 3 business days to reply back with your gift card code, because I do get quite a few emails, and I just sometimes need a little time for that.
Okay. I'm almost done here. I'm really being fiddly on my.
You're fine. I'm just showing off my card and gloating in the fact that I actually beat Heather in a card design once.
It won't happen again.
Never. Literally never. And that's why I'm gloating now, because
that's funny.
It probably will never, ever, ever happen again.
Okay. I might add some more later, but I think I'm just gonna stick with the bling that's on the wreath.
Look at all that gold foiling. Oh, I love it.
All right, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to call it quits. And if something else pops into my brain later, I'll add it and it'll just be in the finished photos.
Perfect. Paula, our release goes live on Monday at 7 a.m. Central Time. So Monday, September 12th. So this coming Monday.
Okay. Ta-da, we're done.
Beautiful, Heather.
All right. I'm going to put those away in a minute. So I'll hold mine up. Totally different than what I had planned.
They're totally different.
But fun.
I love the colors on yours. So pretty. It's very frosty.
I love that layered sentiment on yours. I'm excited to do that.
Thank you.
Fun.
All right, friends. Well, we're about 5 minutes over, so we're going to flip over to our front-facing cameras, and we'll let you go. I think Kinnery's having to head out because it is very late where she is from.
Yes.
So, thanks so much for joining us, friends, for our combined YouTube Live sneak peek for our holiday release.
And Sherry, I'm pretty sure Leah's doing Facebook Live this week.
I'm pretty sure I am. Yep. So,
and then YouTube Live next week, we have a surprise that we're not going to tell you, but we're super excited about it. So it's going to be a super fun one next week. And that's all. We're just going to, Leah's like, no, don't tell. I'm not telling. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah. So you should catch me. I should be doing Facebook Live on Thursday. I'm assuming I'll sneak peek, but I'm not sure. I'll chat with Kinnery about that, and then just look for the email or whatever we post on Instagram or whatever to know. So congratulations to the winners. We hope that you are loving the sneak peeks of our new product. Be sure to check out our Instagram or our Facebook feed this week or both. We're sneak peeking. It's the same thing on both, but we did a couple sneak peeks last week, but this week, of course, is like the heavy sneak peek week. So we're sneak peeking every day, something new from our release. So.
Yep. All right.
All right, friends, that's everything we have for you today.
Thanks for joining us.
I will see you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.